Hi friends, welcome to art class. I am Laurel. I am a art teacher, and I know that with a lot of you kiddos out of school, you're probably missing a lot of things about school right now, but missing art in particular, because that is just one of those things that is difficult to do over distance learning. And so I am here to do that with you. We're going to make an art project today. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope that if you participate and you enjoy it and you make your art project, you post a picture down below so I can see what you're doing. I'm not used to teaching without a class in front of me. This is something different. I can't see the kiddos that I'm teaching, so this is different. So you'll have to bear with me as I get used to it. But I'm excited to see what you are doing. So please, when you are finished with your project, take a picture and post it so that I can see. I'm very excited about it. And parents, feel free to take pictures as your kids are working. That's one of my favorite things to see in the classroom that I'm missing out on right now, is kids enjoying the process of doing art. So I hope to see that. Note for parents real quick, if you are working or watching with your child, feel free to help out if they need help. Also remember that what we're looking for and what is most important is the process and just trying things. Nothing needs to be perfect. Just let them explore, try out. If they want to try something that's not exactly along the lines of the instruction, that's okay. Let them try something a little different or put their own spin on it. No problems there. So what we are going to do today is, I will show you here my example. It is yesterday here in Missouri was the first day of spring, and so I wanted to do a spring project. We've also had a lot of rain here, so this is what we're doing. We are going to work on color mixing. If you can see, I have the color wheel here. So we are going to work with red, yellow, and blue. Those are our primary colors, and we take those three colors and we can make all the colors in the world. All of them. Not just the 6 colors that you see here. You can make any colors if you mix them just right with those 3 colors. Maybe a little white, a little black here and there mixed in, but the primary colors mixed all just right can make any color in the world. So we're just going to work on these 6, and so we're making a beautiful flower. We're going to add some raindrops later. Right now, what I want you to have for this project is 4 crayons. You're going to have black, red, yellow, and blue. Those are the 4 colors of crayons you're going to need. You're going to need a brush, paintbrush. You're going to need, some watercolor paints. And you're going to need a little bowl of water, cup of water, whatever works for you to rinse your brush out. Some aluminum foil. Doesn't need to be a big piece, something like this. And then glue and scissors. So feel free to hit pause right now if you need to grab those things. And don't forget your paper. As far as paper goes, I recommend, of course, my thing is use what you have in your house. I don't expect anybody, especially right now, to go out and buy a bunch of supplies. So the thicker the paper, because we're going to be doing some painting, the thicker the paper, the better. Cardstock is good. Heavy drawing paper is good. If all you have is copy paper, I recommend using 2 and layering them, stacking one on top of the other, just because the bottom sheet will absorb some of that extra water so it doesn't wrinkle up quite so badly. But like I said, the thicker the paper, the better. If what you have is copy paper, we'll make it work. Don't run out to the store. We'll use what you've got. So anyway, once you have your supplies gathered, you can see I'm working up here. I recommend you lay yours flat on the table because the paint's gonna go everywhere. It's gonna slop. As you can see, these are from all that beautiful color up there is from previous projects of mine. The paint's gonna go off the paper, it's gonna drip, so leave it on the table in a place where you can let it sit and dry. Especially if you're using copy paper. If you pick up really wet paper, it'll just tear. So if you would like to protect your table, most watercolor is washable, but if you need to protect your table, you can put newspaper down or whatever you need to put down. That will help you out too. So let's get started. Alrighty, here we go. So you're gonna start with a black crayon. All you need to get started is a black crayon. You wanna press kind of hard as you're using your crayons today because of our painting step, and you'll see why in a few minutes. So right in the middle of your paper, I want to, or maybe up a little bit from the middle, to make a black dot. Simple. Have you guys ever read Peter Reynolds' The Dot? It's one of my favorite books. Peter Reynolds is wonderful. Just like Vashti and her dot. So that's how we're starting. Now, our flower is going to have 6 petals. Your flower does not need to look exactly like mine. I was doing this with my daughters earlier. Each of their flowers looked a little bit different. No big deal. Parents, if kids get frustrated, feel free to take a break, walk away, come back. That's what the pause button is for, so no problems. I'm gonna make my petal. Start right up here. Like I said, we want 6 petals, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your petals do not need to be all the same size. You can see mine aren't. No problem. So there you go. And then we're gonna make the stem. Wiggling a little here. There we go. If you want to give your flower some leaves, that is fine. Again, your flower does not need to look exactly like mine. If you make a mistake, flip the paper over or just work with the mistake you got. Read the book Beautiful Oops, that's a good one. Mistakes can be beautiful. And then we're gonna add a little grass down here. Different ways to make grass. I'm just making zigzags. You can make little, however, something like that. All right, there's our flower. That was pretty simple. If you need to pause the video at any point to get caught up, do it, no problem. All right, our next step is blue crayon. I'm gonna take that blue crayon and I'm gonna go up here at the top and I'm gonna color a petal in. There we go. Now, remember while you're working, you wanna press a little harder maybe than you're used to with these crayons, and you'll see why in a few minutes when we start painting. So 1 petal colored in just like that. Now, I want you to move over to the next petal. Color it blue. Sorry about that. Fix that up. Now, some projects are more step-by-step. You gotta follow directions, do this, do this. Some projects aren't. So keep following along. You'll see some more projects are, you get to get a little more creative, do fun things, and some projects are just about learning concepts. Today we're mixing color, so that's what our step-by-step is today. So, all right, next, red crayon. I'm gonna take that crayon on just one of your petals. You're gonna color right over the blue. Again, you're gonna wanna press a little harder than you're used to, but pay close attention while you're doing that. What is happening to your crayons, to your colors? Do you see red? Do you see blue? Or are they mixing and you see a little bit of purple? Red and blue make purple. Great job, guys. All right, we're moving next to the purple. This is like a clock. We call this clockwise. If the hands on a clock go this direction. So we're gonna go clockwise from here to here to here. Right next to your purple petal, you're gonna keep that red out and you're going to color a red petal. Lots of things we're learning with this project. That's the nice thing about art is we get creative, but we can also draw in a lot of other concepts, counting, clocks, all sorts of stuff, literacy, all sorts of stuff. So there's your red petal. Next to that red petal, one more red petal, and then we'll put our red away for now. Beautiful. Great coloring, guys. If you get a little outside the lines, no problem. We're artists. We get creative. All right, pull out that yellow crayon. Again, if you need to pause to get caught up, no problem. If I'm going too fast for you, don't worry about it. That's what the pause button is for. Okay, so I have my blue, I have my purple, I have my red, I have my second red right next to this guy over here. I'm going to move up and color. Oh, messed up. I'm going to go back. So I have my red, my second red. I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to color right on top of that red with my yellow. And it might take a little more coloring this time because yellow is a light color. Just keep it up until you start to see another color forming. What color is it, guys? It's orange. Looks beautiful. Again, yellow is a lighter color, so it might take a little more work to get that orange to show up, but you'll start to see it. Beautiful. And then over here, yellow next to your orange. Yellow and red make orange. You're mixing colors, friends. Great work. Don't forget to press kind of hard. I don't want to break our crayons, although if it happens, it happens. No biggie. You can still use them when they're broken. All right, so we have blue and red make purple. Red and yellow make orange. Any guesses what's going to go here? I'm going to get my blue crayon back out because we know what two colors are going to get mixed there, right? I'm going to color that blue. I'm going to color my yellow right on top of that. Again, yellow is a light color, so it might take a little bit more work to get it there, but keep coloring until you see a new color forming. Anyone see what it is? Might have to work it for a minute. I see green. Beautiful, that's your color wheel. There's 6 colors on the color wheel. We have our primary colors, blue, yellow, red, and we have the colors that those make, which are called secondary colors. Primary are the first, primary means first colors we use. Secondary are the second colors you get when you mix primary colors. And there are more colors. We can get to that a different day. Today we're thinking about primary, secondary. All right, now if you want to mix colors to color your stem, your leaves, your grass, you're more than welcome to. You can color blue, color yellow on top, and what color are you gonna get, friends? Green. Or if you just want to use a green crayon, that's fine too. I'm going to just mix real quick here. You can see on a bigger area what you're going to get. Y is the stem. Oh, I got out of the line a little bit. Y is the stem and leaves. Y are the stem and leaves. Blue, because I'm going to make them green. Take a minute and get caught up. Go ahead and color in your greenery, your stem, your leaves. Like I said, if you would rather just do this with a green crayon, that is fine. Totally up to you. It'll probably be a little more green. In fact, I'm going to grab one real quick. There we go. Just to fill that in real quick. Move things along here. We have a few more steps, so. Now, once this project is finished, if you have paint at home, you can play around, just get a clean sheet of paper, mix some colors, put red in one corner, put blue in one corner, blend them together, put some yellow in there, see what happens. If you mix them all together, you usually get kind of a brownish, mushy color. Sometimes it's kind of greenish, but usually it's brownish. So if you mix a bunch of colors together or all the primary colors together, you can get some crazy stuff. So play around with it when you have time. All right, that part is finished. We are ready to paint. Grab your watercolors. You're gonna need a little jar of water. you're gonna need your watercolor paints. In fact, we're only gonna need blue this time. Although if you've read, again, Peter Reynolds, excuse me, he has a book called Sky Color, all about making the sky any color but blue. If you have that book, or if you can find it, I recommend it. You can add a whole new twist to this art project. Okay, watercolors. The key with watercolors is water. So be a little careful if you're using copy paper or computer paper. It doesn't love to soak up that water as well as some other kinds of paper. So like I said, put something under it. Do it in a place where it can sit for a while until it dries. And maybe try to use a little bit less water in your paint so it doesn't get so soggy wet. So we're gonna start from the top. I've got, if you can see it, my paint's really nice and drippy here. I'm just going to start from one side to the other. And I'm dripping here, no problem. But something really magical is gonna happen here, guys. If you can see it, when I get to my paint, really you will see it on the yellow. When I paint over the crayon, look at that. That's called a resist. The wax in the crayon pushes away the water in the paint. It resists it. If you ever mix oil and water, it's the same thing. They separate, they push each other away. That's what's happening here with the wax in the water. You can really see it on those brighter colors. A little more water on my brush. Keep adding water to that paint, guys. Need lots of water in that watercolor. If it's not flowing, if it's not spreading really well, that's because, or if you're not able to see your colors really brightly here, that's because you need more water. So grab a little more. If you're worried about getting your table, I always tell my students, don't worry if it gets on the table, but the table you're working on right now isn't mine, so I can't say that. If you're worried about it getting on the table, put some newspaper down or something, but like I said, most watercolor is washable. It should wipe right up, even after it's dry. It should wipe right up, so. I know some people are going to be more concerned about that, which is understandable. So there we go. There is that. We are almost finished. Looks beautiful, guys. I can't wait to see the pictures. We have one more step. Now this last step, you might have to pause and come back, or just stop and come back after you've seen the video. But what we need to do, we gotta let this dry a little bit. So I can't do this right just yet, but you're going to take your aluminum foil. You're gonna cut out these little raindrops, if you can see them a little more closely. Teardrop shapes, raindrop shapes. You're gonna cut those out of your aluminum foil. You're going to get your glue, and you're going to put a small dot on the back, a dot or a line, and you can decide how many raindrops you want, exactly how big you want them to be. I will show you again my other one, my first one, my example. I put it, let's see, I've got 5 raindrops on that one, and they're a little bigger. You can make them smaller than that if you want. Totally up to you. I didn't want them to cover my beautiful, colorful flower. I wanted those colors to show up, but I put them all around the back, a little bit in the grass. Put them wherever you want. So once this is not quite dry yet, it doesn't have to be perfectly dry, but once you don't have any pools of water sitting on your paper or pools of paint, you can take these, put your dot on the back, and spread them out where you want them to go. Decide how many you want, and you will have your beautiful springtime color wheel flower. We're all ready for spring, friends. It's time. So thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what you think. Please share the video with any friends that you think may be craving a little art time these days on this time off of school, and post those pictures. Thank you.